it's been the worst year of my life.
Yeah.
Fact, 100%. I literally came back a couple of days feeling depressed.
Hello and welcome to MTV Cribs. Of course, I'm joking. Unfortunately for you guys, it is Maz Meets. It's a brand new series that I'll be doing where I'll be going to interview people of interest. So that might be a professional sports person, it might be your average Joe next door, but if they've got a story to tell, I'm going to go and find out about it. So let's go. Grant, before we get into it, mate, well, talk to me through this. I've lost words because I'll be honest. Who has this?
This was my missus. She done it. Yeah, she got it done for me in Thailand. Yeah, so there was an artist, and I've got a tiger downstairs in the living room. You've seen it.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So he painted that, and obviously I like that, and she got this as a present for me. She got it done. And to be fair, he's done me an absolute favour there. I look a strong 9 out of 10. And in real life, I'm probably a 4 or 5 at best.
I don't know about a 9 out of 10.
Oh, come on, look at that.
That's debatable.
Look at the trim.
But Grant, do you not think it's a bit vain, mate? Do you not think it's a bit...
No, this is the thing, right? I would never put up a picture of myself, ever. But the fact that it's sentimental, it was a gift, it was a present, and it's probably one of the best presents I've actually ever had, for the sentimental value.
God, you must have some bad presents, I tell you.
No, come on. Look, because of the whole player of the season now, and it's just...
No, I'm joking, it's actually all right.
The actual picture that he used, it literally looks exactly the same. Okay. Exactly the same.
And can we just talk? Can we get a zoom in on here, please?
Oh God!
He's forgotten the little thing on the queue, so it just says Uween's Park Rangers.
All you need is a bit of Tipex and just draw a line. That's all you got to do. Look, you're always nitpicking. You are. Look,
so next time you come here, you're gonna have a little.
Listen, he is from Thailand. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, give him a break.
Exactly.
Give him a break. Give him a break.
Probably doesn't speak great English.
Do you know what? The only time I've ever seen like a painting like that is like a big manor hall. Do you know what I mean? The ones used to go on the school trips.
It does look a bit like a shrine to myself, but honestly, it's nothing to do with me. It was the missus.
Palming it off. Yeah. Well, fair enough, Grant. Well, should we just get on with it?
Yeah, let's just play, mate.
Play a bit of pool, yeah. Thank you very much for letting us in your home, mate.
No problem, mate. You spend enough time in this, to be honest.
Well, if the people out there don't know, we've been long-term friends, haven't we?
It's been a primary school, hasn't it?
Primary school, mate. Yeah, it's been too long.
How old are we now?
26, yeah.
Too old.
Too old. Anyway, so Grant, look, thank you very much for letting us in. We're going to have a game of pool, mate. You fancy yourself as a pool player?
I'm decent at pool, yeah. I don't think anyone beat me on this table.
No one?
No, beat my dad the other day. He used to be like one of the best in Sussex.
Really?
No, I swear to God, that's true.
Any other players in QPR fancy themselves?
I don't know really. I don't really play pool at QPR. There's a pool table, but it's
play football there, yeah?
Now and again.
Alright, do you want to rack up? And then
yeah, mate,
we'll get on with it, mate. We'll get on with it.
I'll do the honours.
So, of course, Grant, you started... Let's start at the beginning, alright? Let's start at the beginning. You obviously started off with Brighton. Yeah. Well, Whitehawk first of all, wasn't it?
Whitehawk. Well, that's going back, that is.
That's going back.
AFC Jellyfish, them days, you were there as well.
I was. Cup final, if you don't remember. So, of course, started off with Whitehawk, and then you went on to Brighton.
Yeah.
And then you got released when you were 16 from Brighton. Now, obviously, I want to talk about that because as a youngster, you're 16 years old, you're playing football for at the time, I think, League One Championship team.
Yeah, League One.
League One at the time. So obviously at the time, you're living the dream. But then you got released at 16. How was that for you? Obviously, as a player.
I mean, it was tough at the time, obviously, to take because obviously I wanted a scholarship and it was difficult. But at the end of the day, I thought it was the right decision. Yeah. Because back then I wasn't the player I am now. I didn't have the same confidence, self-belief. I played within myself, to be honest. So at the time, obviously, I was devastated. I didn't get a scholarship. But looking back and reflecting on it, it was the right decision.
So what was the reason? Do you remember the reason why they said?
Basically, them reasons said like you play within yourself too much. You're not progressing as you should be, and that's why we're not offering you a scholarship. That's literally what they said. They were honest with me, which obviously I like honesty. My dad, my dad's always been honest with me as well. And so I went away. Obviously worked hard and luckily got the opportunity again. Yeah, which I'm sure you'll go on to now.
Yeah, of course, mate. And obviously as a young player, you're 16 years old.
Yeah.
How hard was it for you to get back into it? And a lot of people could just go away, think, actually, this is not for me. I don't want to be a footballer anymore. disheartened. I just didn't want to go for it anymore. But obviously, you came back stronger and got re-signed.
If I'll be totally honest, I didn't enjoy it when I was at Brighton.
Really?
I wasn't enjoying football. It was just like.
What was it you weren't enjoying about it?
I don't know, it just felt the pressure. It felt like it was pressure all the time and I didn't like it. At the time I couldn't handle it, like I just didn't like pressure. And then obviously got released, went away and signed for Lewis.
Yeah.
And then that just got my confidence back. I just played for fun, you know, there was no pressure, the shackles were off.
Yeah.
And I was just playing with mates. It was literally like a kickabout with my mates.
Yeah, down the park.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So
pretty much literally playing in the park.
Yeah, the managers there at the time. I mean, Kevin Keegan was managing the first team, and he gave me the opportunity to play in the first team. I was 16, playing in the conference, you know. So I was nervous, but again, I didn't feel pressure because it was a different environment for me. You know, I was literally felt like I was playing with my mates.
Yeah, and obviously that was much lower league, so that was what conference, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So do you think that was better for you being at that sort of lower league, you know, not as, like you said, no pressure at that lower league in comparison to, let's say you were at a championship club or a League One club where if you're playing week in, week out, the media, the fans are going to get on your back. Do you think that's a big problem in today's game especially? Do you think that's a problem?
100%. I think you're scrutinised with everything you do nowadays. You know, you look at social media. If a player puts anything on social media, everyone can see it.
Yeah.
So you've got to be careful what you say, what you do. You know, it's completely different nowadays. At the time at Lewis, you know, I didn't really feel pressure playing in them games. I don't know why. I came out myself. I mean, I grew up as a person. You know, I became an adult. You know, I was a kid before that. But playing with men week in, week out, you know, that made me an adult then.
Yeah.
So, you know, I learned a lot from the likes of Danny Cullip, Anthony Barnes, who played, obviously...
Some decent players.
You know, Andy Barnes played Premier League for years. So they helped me, they were great for me, you know, coming through. And I had a great time there. I mean, that was... I think, honestly, I always say it, that is what made me what I am today.
Yeah, of course.
Going there.
Decent. Well, yeah. Well, before we carry on, should we play a bit of?
Let's have a little game, mate.
Let's get into the chat a bit too much. Here you go, mate. Why is that for me? That's for me.
That's all right. Size for you, mate. I got that especially for you, though.
Cheers, mate. I got to.
Got me a break. Yeah, I'll do the others.
Sure, Gaff, mate. You can go first. So, so of course, then Lewis.
Yeah.
You obviously done very well there. You impressed, and then Brighton then came back for you.
Yep.
They then signed you back up again.
Yep.
So. At the time there, obviously, you then made your first team debut against Wrexham, wasn't it, in the FA Cup?
Yes, my full debut. Yeah, my full league debut. My actual debut was against Southampton at home.
I was there.
That's
my
debut. Come on at 0-0
yeah.
in the second half, and we ended up winning the game 3-0. So, you know, I was nervous coming on that game. I was definitely nervous that game.
How old were you then?
I was 19, I believe.
19?
Yeah, 19.
So how was that as a 19-year-old going on to the Amex as well, newly built?
Yeah.
Southampton at home, home crowd, your parents there?
It was a new experience for me, yeah. Of course, everyone was there, my family were there, and I was just praying I wanted to get on, you know, because the atmosphere was incredible. I think it was like 33,000 fans, whatever it was.
Yeah.
And obviously against Southampton, I don't know what it is with Brighton, but it's normally like, there used to be a little rivalry between them.
Well, it's South Coast, isn't it?
Yeah. So, you know, it's not really nowadays, you know what I mean? It's not the same, but them and Palace, obviously.
Of course.
But just going on into the game, literally the manager just said to me, give the ball to Kaz, because England are
right, okay.
So I come on left back. Left back. And he literally said, give the ball to Kaz.
Yeah.
That was it. That was all I had to do. He said, literally, just give the ball to Kaz. Let him do what he does. So no, it's quite an easy debut for me. No, obviously it was difficult coming on, with it being 0-0, but they went down to 10 men as well, so that made it like a little bit easier.
Of course, then you made your debut. Your debut went against Wrexham. That's your full debut, FA Cup, and then that was under Gus Poyet, wasn't it?
Yeah, Gus Poyet.
Gus Poyet, and obviously you left Brighton. Then they offered you a 3-year contract, didn't they?
Yeah. So
talk to me about that. Obviously, your boyhood club. You've been there pretty much your whole career.
Yeah.
They gave you that chance again.
Yeah.
And you rejected it. So. What was going through your head at the time? You know, why was it not the right time for you to carry that on?
I mean, I'll be totally honest with you and I'll tell you the story. Obviously made my debut, training with the first team, played really well on my debut, my full debut especially. You know, I was training day in, day out with the first team. Obviously you got 2 shots here as well.
Yeah.
2 shots.
Didn't realise, sorry mate. Go on, carry on. Carry on, mate, carry on.
So yeah, playing day in, day out with the first team, training well, and the manager actually pulled me into his office one of the days, and I thought that was a bit weird, you know. Yeah. And he sat me down and said to me, "Look, we've got a player coming in, Joe Mattock, I think it was. So he was coming in on loan. I don't know if you remember him.
Yeah, Joe Mattock.
Came in on loan, yeah. And he said, you're going to be going back training with the under 23s.
Okay.
So obviously I was a bit upset, a bit baffled really, because I've been doing well, and I was thinking to myself, how am I going to progress? Yeah. As a player, if I'm going backwards, you know, to the 23s, I think I deserve to be, training with the first team. I'm not saying I deserve to be in the team, of course not, but I'm saying I've done well, so I deserve to be in and around the boys,
Yeah.
And the reasons he said it was, he said it was too many numbers,
Right.
So one player coming in, I think, I disagreed. One player coming in doesn't make a difference to training numbers. So I we didn't have a fallout at all.
Yeah.
I just went away and obviously had a think, and there was players ahead of me at the time. I think there was 4 players ahead of me at centre half, so there's going to be a lot of competition. But I just felt like it was the right time for me to move on.
Okay, so it was a bit of a combination of the manager, the way he sort of told you the reason you weren't really too happy with that.
Yeah, well, I didn't agree with it at all. I think as a young player, if you want to progress, obviously, and I felt it was going backwards, going back to training with the 21s.
Yeah.
Obviously, they offered me a new contract, offered me a new 3-year deal, but I sat there. It wasn't an easy decision. Of course, my hometown club. Wasn't easy, but I still don't regret it. I feel it was the right decision. Yeah. It's put me where I am today.
Yeah, exactly. Fair enough. Obviously, it's a big decision, isn't it? Leaving your boyhood club.
Yeah, of course it is.
It's never easy.
Again, moving away from home, that made me become a man as well. I had to move away to live on my own.
Yeah.
So it was difficult moving away from home. But
especially being a mummy's boy.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, no, my mum hated it. My mum hated me moving out, but I think my dad was happy. He said you got to get out on your own and experience the world as it is. So
of course. Yeah,
it was difficult, but I don't regret it at all.
Yeah. Well, no, fair enough. And then obviously you then signed a contract with Tottenham.
Yeah.
Tottenham Hotspur, and of course Premier League side. So you obviously made that step up as well in that sense. But you didn't get the first team opportunity straight away.
No.
Fair to say. And then you went into the reserves.
Yep.
And you were actually captain of the Tottenham reserves, weren't you, for one season?
Yeah.
How was that? Obviously I must be. You must have been so proud to become captain of. I know it's the reserve team, of course, but still to be captain of any Premier League team. Regardless of what level it is, must be quite proud of that.
Yeah, of course it was. I mean, it was the under 21s for a Premier League at the time. So we got to the final and ended up playing Man United.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, we 2-0 up and lost 3-2 in the final. But I've still got a runners-up medal actually. I've still got it.
Runners-up medal. After 21
yeah, still got it. Yeah. So
nice.
Obviously it was an honour to captain them, because if you look at that team, we had all the players now were playing Championship, Premiership.
What players? Oh, I know one.
You know one.
Harry Kane.
Yeah.
current England captain.
Yeah.
And obviously Tottenham leading goal scorer, Harry Kane. So how was that? You were captaining the England captain now.
I mean, at the time it's not like that, is it? Yeah. Now I look at it, it's obviously I've played with him. He's a top player. Don't get me wrong, he's an unbelievable player. But when you're playing with him at the time, if you're being honest, you wouldn't think he'd go and done what he does. So fair play to him. He's worked hard. He's humble. What I like about him is he's humble as well. He's a really nice guy.
Yeah.
He's not cocky. He's not arrogant. He's done it year after year. The last few years he scored goals for fun.
I've got quite a lot of people saying really he's a fraud. He's a one-season wonder.
No. He's proven people wrong. There's always going to be people that gonna say stuff like that. They want you to fail, but he's proven everyone wrong. Well, fair play to him.
When you were playing at that level, and obviously you were captaining the side, when you saw him play, or even some of the other players, not necessarily just Harry Kane, but do you see that in him? Do you think this guy's...
I mean, he's always been a deadly finisher.
Yeah.
Left foot is as good as his right. He's always been a finisher. I mean, he scored a ridiculous amount of goals for the 21, so I always knew he'd score goals.
Yeah.
But his all-round game now is just come on leaps and bounds. He's strong, he's quick, he's good in the air. He can do everything. He can do everything. He's a modern-day Alan Shearer.
Really?
That's what he...
Alan Shearer, yeah? That's a big comparison.
I know it's a big comparison, but I honestly see a lot of resemblances between the two. I honestly do. And I know Shearer's got a crazy record, most goals in the Premier League. But if anyone can get to that, I honestly think Harry Kane could.
Fair play.
That's if he stays at Tottenham,
Yeah.
He's going to want to win trophies. So,
that's the thing.
And obviously, but they've got a new stadium, Tottenham, coming up, so I think he'll stay.
Yeah.
I think he'll give it one more year and see what happens.
Yeah. Well, no, I completely agree. I think Harry Kane, at the moment, he's just absolutely banging the goals in, isn't he? So, and it's interesting to hear as well. Obviously, back when you were playing with him, the fact that you're still banging goals in, and you didn't have any kind of sort of qualms in terms of what he was going to do.
Yeah.
In terms of the career paths that you've taken, obviously yours has gone one way, and his has gone the other way. But are you envious in terms of what he's achieved in comparison to what you have, or are you're not that kind of person? Do you just focus on yourself?
No, I tend to focus on myself. I'm not envious at all. Our careers are completely different. Everyone takes a different path in life. Everything happens for a reason. I'm a firm believer of that, and I'm really happy for him because of the person he is, the character he is. As I said, he's not arrogant at all. He's down to earth. So he's not changed either, you know, the fame hasn't changed him. So I'm honestly pleased to see where he is now.
Good man. Yeah, no, you know, that question's a bit of a difficult one, isn't it? Because at the end of the day, you're just focusing on yourself.
Yeah, of course, but you know, that's football, you know. There's going to be players that make it to the top, and there's going to be players that take a different path to get there, you know, that take different stepping stones. I had to go backwards to then, you know, push on again.
I think it's testament to what you did when you were at the time at Lewis as well, you know, the fact that, like I said, anyone could have just given up at the time.
Yeah, of course.
You thought, no, actually, what I want to do is, I want to get back and I want to play, and you proved your worth and got signed again. So no, it's fair play. So moving on then from Spurs, obviously, whilst you were at Spurs, you had quite a few loan deals, didn't you?
Yeah.
So you were at Birmingham, Blackpool,
Swindon as well.
Swindon as well. So talk to me about what the impact you had. Because obviously you're still young at the time. Yeah. So you still, you know, playing. Is it your shot, by the way, or mine?
Yeah, it's mine, mate. So I had 2 shots.
That's right, mate. So. Obviously, at the time, it was you know, you went out on loan to quite a few different clubs. How was that for you as a young player, going to clubs like, you know, Birmingham, big club, Blackpool, a lot of history, even Swindon, you know, a lot of history. What was that like for you as a young player? You know, applying your trade. Do you think that was important in your development?
It was massive to my development to go out and play league football. You know, as I say, with like men's football. Yeah. You know, because I was used to playing 21s football really with Brighton and Tottenham. I'd only played a couple of games for Brighton first team. So to go out and get that experience was vital for me. You know, and obviously today where I am now, it stands me in good stead. So the first loan Swindon I thought it was tough. You know. Yeah. Because it was a new experience for me. So playing against them players, you know, different players, strong players, it was difficult, and it sort of opened my eyes a little bit to what level you had to get to in order to play consistently at that level, if you know what I mean. Yeah. So it was really good for me, especially when I went to Birmingham. I thought I'd done well when I went there. Had some good games, but had a couple of injuries as well. And then
because you got signed by Steve Clark, didn't you?
Lee Clark. Lee Clark. Lee Clark. So he brought me in. Yeah. And obviously got on really well with him.
He was a big fan, wasn't he? He was a big fan of your playing style, what you're all about, what you can bring to the team.
Yeah, he took me to Blackpool as well after that. We'll go on to that in a minute. But he obviously brought me into Birmingham, a massive club, huge history. So it was a new challenge for me. But obviously things didn't work out there, and he obviously got sacked. And then new manager come in, Gary Rowett, didn't want to play me. Yeah. And that's fair enough now. You know, he was honest with me. He said, look, you know, you're not my plan, so you can go back to Spurs. But I had no issue with that at all because he was honest from the start. So. Yeah, okay. It's all you know, swings and roundabouts in football. You know, every day is a learning day.
Exactly. Well, especially at such a young age, going out on loan, and you know, at the level you're playing as well. You know, like you said when you were at Lewis, you know, playing against, it felt like being a young man playing against men. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. So obviously learning from that, it sounds like you really took that on. Right, after all your loan deals, you obviously came back to Spurs, and. It's fair to say, you know, you didn't get the opportunity that you were looking for at Tottenham. No. And then, of course, you moved on. You signed a 2-year contract with Queen's Park Rangers. Yeah. So, of course, that's your current club. Mm-hmm. And you've had a bit of... Well, you've had a lot of highs and a couple of lows as well, fair to say.
Which is like football on a daily basis, really. Highs and lows.
Day in, day out, really, isn't it, for you? But, of course, you know, I'd rather hear from you, but you've had a lot of highs in the 2015-2016 season. You won the the fans Player of the Season award, and of course that's a big accolade for anyone. Just to win an award, especially from your fans. Yeah, your own fans who watch you week in, week out. They get to see you play. Ultimately, I think their opinion is worth quite a lot. Yeah. And especially with things such as Arsenal Fan TV, that's come about quite a lot now recently. So, would you prefer to win an award from the club, or do you think the fans' opinion is worth more?
Ooh, tough question. I think the relationship with the fans is vital. Obviously you want them to like you as a player, and luckily the fans do like me as a player. My first season, my debut season, they voted me obviously player of the season. So I think. It does help. You don't if fans don't like you and they've got you booing every time you touch a ball. How's that going to help your confidence? If you've got fans that genuinely like you and want you to do well, then that can only push you up another level.
Yeah, definitely.
So in terms of obviously fans and the club, it's obviously nice to get noticed by the players as well. Say you got player of the season. Yeah. I did get that one. Cherry got that one. Okay. And he was, to be fair, he deserved it. He was an unbelievable player.
He was on fire, wasn't he?
He was an unbelievable player. But obviously, it's any player of the season, you're buzzing.
Yeah. Of course. So just to cap over that, you basically think it's just as important from getting a fan's opinion to your players and your manager as well. Do you get managers player of the season? Do you still do that? Or was that just when you're under 12s?
Yeah, I think that's like the under 12s. Yeah, I think that's gone now. So I think it was fans player of the season, players player of the season, and junior hoops player of the season, which is obviously the young fans pick a player of the season.
Oh, nice.
So yeah, it's
all inclusive and keep you up.
Yeah, pretty much, mate. Yeah, so everyone gets a pick. Yeah.
Oh, nice, mate. Nice. Okay. Okay, cool. So, and of course, it's fair to say as well, you've been quite injury hit throughout your career. Is that fair to say?
I mean, yeah, I've had a few. Do you know what I mean? I've the last one, the most recent one, is obviously the worst I've ever experienced.
Right.
So,
what injury was that?
I had tendonitis in my knee. I played with it last season. Yeah. So I played with it from January, but then it got to a point where it was just too sore and I couldn't carry on. Tried to get fit over the summer, came back, trained the first 3 weeks of pre-season, then my knee just flared up again. So I literally tried to come back multiple times. Had injections, had physio, had this, had that. Just it was terrible. Didn't get any better, and then I ended up having to have an operation. So my whole season was ruined by that.
Yeah, well, obviously, I'm a close friend, of yours, and I was there with you through the injuries, and I know you were frustrated, and obviously you did everything you could to avoid surgery. How frustrating was that whole process from start to finish? As someone who loves football, a lover of football, how frustrating was that for you just to get back to play?
I mean, it was horrible. I mean, certain fans, I can't understand some of them when they say, oh, he's still getting paid, he's still getting this, he's still getting that. It doesn't, at the end of the day, it's about football. I don't care about, obviously, the money. It's a career at the end of the day. You need to earn a living. Yeah. But for me, it's always been about football. For me to not play football, it's been the worst year of my life. Yeah. Fact, 100%. I literally came back a couple of days feeling depressed. I'd literally sit there and be depressed. I don't show that. You can see that as well. I don't really show them emotions, but I'll be totally honest with you. I was sitting there depressed. I didn't know what to do with myself at times, and it was just trying to find things to do which kept me occupied. It was tough. Some games I had to stay away from that. I couldn't. I wanted to support the boys, but I couldn't. Just watch every game. It was difficult for me. Yeah. So mentally, it was the toughest thing.
Well, yeah, I was just about to say. So in terms of mental awareness, I know there's a big thing around football at the moment with the whole footballers, mental awareness. Yeah. People, like you said, I don't think a lot of fans and the media understand the pressures that obviously you footballers have. Do you think at the moment, football and the pressure on from the media, from the fans, does that get too much for you sometimes? And do you think there's ways of in your opinion, is there anything people could do differently to maybe help you guys?
I mean, you can be as mentally tough as you want, but I don't think there's a player that can say nothing has ever affected them in their career. Not one. There's going to be a point where something that someone has said has affected them, or someone's done, or an injury, or whatever. It could be anything, but for me, it was difficult, and what you're saying about obviously the mental health, I can fully understand why players, when they retire, they struggle. Yeah. A lot of the older players, with things like alcohol, gambling, it's difficult because the money wasn't the same back then either. So they're still having to earn a living after retiring. Yeah. And it's like, what do you do with yourself? I mean, for me, when I retire, obviously I want to do something as well. I want to keep occupied. I haven't figured that out yet, but I can't just sit around there and do nothing. Even I'd love to be in that position where you're set for life. Yeah. But at the same time, I couldn't sit there and do nothing. So I can fully understand when players, they're suffering with things like that. Yeah.
And of course, that's a big thing at the moment in terms of football. What do you think you would want as a let's say you finish your career and you said you want to keep busy and everything. Do you think there's any initiatives or any programs that people can introduce in your opinion? Or
100%, yeah, 100%. You could do something for footballers that retire. I think there's a massive market for that. You see how many footballers that retire and struggle dealing with day-to-day life.
Even now, like Stephen Corker, players like that, it's quite publicly known that he's going through struggles, and there's a lot of people in the past. Tony Adams, you look at people like that who've gone through alcoholism, gambling, stuff like that. So I'm sure there's initiatives out there that can be put. And I'm sure there is.
There is, of course.
Initiatives out there now. How as a player, do you get told about that? When you go to training or when you go to
there's
there's
a psychiatrist for that work with QPR. Okay. So there is a psychiatrist. If you're struggling, you can go and see her. Okay. Talk to her about things. So there's options. Don't get me wrong, but it is difficult because you're always in the public eye as well. So any little thing you do is always being watched.
Yeah. Okay. No, interesting. You know, it's always good to hear, because that's the thing. A lot of us don't hear the behind the scenes.
No, I see both sides of it. I can understand what when people say stuff. You know, fans say certain things. I can understand it, but they don't see the ins and outs of what happens day to day in football.
Of course.
You know, it's not all luxury. It's definitely not. I mean, me this season being injured the whole season, it's been the worst year of my life. Yeah, honestly.
And obviously, it can be sometimes. I think people realise it could be career threatening as well.
Exactly. That's my thought process. I tried everything to avoid having the operation because I looked at this injury and it's a complex injury. It's not a simple fix. Yeah. It's not a simple fix. So for me, I looked at Owen Hargreaves. Look at him. You know, he did everything, had the operations, and he had to retire. I think it was 31 because his body literally just couldn't take it anymore. Yeah. So obviously, you're always worried, but. Yeah. At the same time, you've got to be positive and you just got to get on with things. So.
I was just about to say, is there any sort of advice, especially for even young professionals? I'm sure there'll be people out there from 16 and above that get these injuries. That, younger people watching this, or even older. Might be watching this. I don't know if you will be or not. You might be. So is there any advice or anything you've gone through yourself that you can maybe tell people that keep going through it, or is it just being mentally strong and getting the right treatment?
Mentally is obviously the toughest part of it. 100%, but you've got to look after yourself as well. Like your treatment, you've got to make sure you get your treatment. Your rehab, you've got to make sure you do it properly. Just doing the simple thing, especially when you're younger. It's key when you're younger, because as you get older, you don't get the chance to do that as much. Your body's aging, and it's not the same. So when you're younger, you sort of set the foundations for your body, throughout your career. So for youngsters, I'd say it's key.
Just keeping fit. Yeah. Keeping fit, mentally strong.
Yeah.
Wise words, mate. Wise words. Love that. So going forward, then, fingers crossed, you get back to playing, getting fit again, and of course, Ian Holloway recently been let go or told his services are no longer required, and of course. For you, so what was that, your 5th or 6th manager since you've been in QPR?
So he was my 4th, so now Steve McLaren will be my 5th.
That'll be your 5th manager. So what, and you've been there for?
This will be 3 years. This will be my 4th next season.
Okay. Yeah. And so for you, having that, having a 5 managers in that period is quite, that's chop and change if anything, if I've ever seen it at a club.
It is,
yeah. How does that affect you as a player?
I mean, to be honest, you just get on with things. You don't think of it, it is football nowadays, it's cutthroat. It's not nice to see, but it is what it is, you can't be affected by it, you just got to get on with things.
Yeah.
So, obviously, as I said, it's not, with Holloway obviously being let go, it was sad to see because I got on really well with him. Yeah. We had a good relationship, and I thought he did really well for the club. I thought he did great for what he was asked to do. I thought he did everything he was asked to do. But obviously the club wants to go in a different direction. So that's totally understandable. But I wish him well in the future. Yeah,
definitely. Because he's a character, isn't he?
He is.
He's been known to be a bit of a character. Is there any moments that since he was there? Any stories? Any moments?
Oh mate, he's just literally every day he's just bubbly as anything. He'll just be shouting things, walking down the corridor in training. He will just be jumping about. That's in games. I wasn't actually playing this season, but one of the games he was just dancing about in the change room. That's some song come on. He was just literally doing some mad dances. Yeah. So I wasn't there. So but just silly things like the sayings he comes out with as well when he had a moan up once and he said wombat's testicles or something like he just come out. It's like Tourette's. Honestly, it's like Tourette's, but it was hilarious. He's just so funny. Such a great character to have around.
Yeah. So he's a bit of a character then. 100%. Like you said, on the constraints and the budgets that he had.
Yeah.
He done a very good job. So like you mentioned, you thought it was a bit. Would you say it's fair to say it was a bit unfair? Is dismissal? Or do you think it was the right choice?
I mean, I honestly didn't see it coming, personally. I didn't see it coming because I thought he'd done everything that was asked of him, and the club obviously wants stability, but obviously they want to progress now and they wanted someone to take them to the next level, I guess. So but everything he did, everything that was asked of him, he did.
Yeah.
He brought youngsters through, which the club wanted, which is great. I love to see youngsters playing. Obviously with no budget at all, he brought in the right players on a free. Obviously finished. It was difficult in the season, the position we finished, obviously, but to stay I think we overachieved, you know.
Yeah.
For what's been going on in the club, you know, I think everyone's seen it with the financial fair play and everything.
40 million.
Yeah, something like that.
It's fine.
Yeah, silly. So I think obviously I don't know what's going on the ins and outs of it, but I think we sort of overachieved a little bit this season. I know we finished 16th, but as I said, for what was going on, it was a difficult time for everyone.
Was that behind the scenes? Was it quite a lot going on? Or?
Yeah, like it was just like everything was up in the air at one point, and you didn't know what was going on. Obviously, it's not nice for the club. Like, it's a great club as well. I love the club, so everyone, you know, is trying to do right by the club. So you know, it was not nice to see him go.
Yeah.
I was disappointed, but I'm looking forward to working with a new manager, and hopefully it's impressive.
Well, yeah, of course, Steve McLaren. His pedigree's pretty impressive, isn't it?
Of course, yeah.
He's managed Middlesbrough. He's done very well at Middlesbrough. Managed the England team, of course. Yeah. Not so successful, we might add. But no, you know, he's been at the top clubs in a high managerial level. So, are you excited about him coming in? Do you think he was the right appointment?
Yeah, 100%. You know, he's looking forward to obviously working with the youngsters. He's come out and said like he's excited by the youngsters as well, and I think we've got some very talented youngsters in our squad. So I'm excited I've heard he's a very, very good coach. Yeah. That's what I've been told. So I'm excited to see, you know, what's coming pre-season. Yeah.
Yeah, decent. Yeah. So of course, and what do you like, you know, going forward now then, in terms of what you see your QPR future. What do you think the target for you is next season? And QPR, you know, personally, QPR. Good shot.
My personal target obviously is to get back playing. You know, fully make sure my knee is, you know, fully right before I come back, and I want to hopefully play a whole season. You know, I think it's I wanted to. Obviously, last season was a big season for me. I felt if I'd done well, you know, who knows what would have happened then. You know, but obviously, my aim is to play Premier League at some point. That is my aim as a player, and it should be any player's aim at the end of the day. But to get back playing is vital for me. But as you know, as a team, you know, we're looking to build on last year. Hopefully, we can get, you know, a top half finish. I think that's what the new manager said he wants. Okay. He said, you know, it's going to take. I agree. It's going to take a few years, obviously, to build to get back into the Premier League, because it's such a massive step. The Championship is ruthless. Yeah,
and have you spoken to him?
I've actually, So I've been in, obviously, doing my rehab and at the gym, and he came in. Yeah, he came in and introduced himself. So he seems to like to play as well. That's obviously suits me, because I'm a football centre half, so I like to play. So I'm looking forward to working with him. Yeah.
Decent. And of course, you touched on it, obviously, the budget constraints. Do you think that's going to... Because historically, he's had quite a small budget to work with, hasn't he? Well, depending on what club he's been at, obviously. Like last week, Derby obviously had quite a big budget for the Championship. But most of his clubs, he's done quite well on a budget. Yeah. You know, do you think that's going to work in his favour going forward?
I mean, if you look at some teams, like Huddersfield haven't got money in the world. They've stayed in the Prem. So, like, you look at them, that's someone to... You know, aspire to be like, obviously, like Huddersfield. Obviously, Brighton haven't got a massive. Like, obviously, they've got money to spend now. But they did have a massive budget before. So I think if you look at the teams throwing money at like players and trying to get promoted now, it's crazy. You know, you got in the Championship the likes of Wolves, what they did, Aston Villa.
Yeah.
You know, it's
big investors, aren't they?
Exactly. So they got big budgets, and it's difficult to compete with them teams. You know, because obviously they're buying experienced players that play Premier League. It's difficult. So I think the club is doing the right thing by bringing youngsters through, and you know, we'll see what happens.
Good man. And the final, basically, nearly going to wrap up, but just the final one. Of course, we've got the World Cup coming up. Yeah. There's been a lot of talk about the World Cup squad. Yeah. So there's a couple of omissions. You know, obviously you've got Joe Hart missing out. Mm-hmm. You've got obviously the likes of, you know, the young goalkeepers coming in, Pickford, Butland, Pope. Yeah. And you've got some, you know, interesting selections in amongst that. Of course, you used to play with Lewis Dunk at Brighton. Yeah. Do you think he deserved a place in the national team?
100%. I'm not saying in the World Cup squad. Okay. But I feel like he should have been called up before. Okay. I honestly think the season he's had has been unbelievable, but he's been consistent for, you know, 4 or 5 seasons now. Yeah. You know, he's obviously getting noticed, but I couldn't understand why he wasn't called up to the 2 friendlies before. Even just to have a look at him.
Do you think that's the... Because a lot of people say this, they reckon it's the sort of big club mentality, so only the big clubs get a look in. But I suppose Burnley's that exception, isn't it? They've had quite a few representatives now with I can't say his name.
Tarkowski.
Yeah. You've got obviously Pope as well in goal, but mostly they come from the big, so-called big clubs. Yeah. Do you think that's got an impact on the selection? So
I think it does a little bit. You know. Yeah. You know, it does. It always has done, really. But it's nice to see players like Tarkowski getting a chance. To be fair, Burnley have had a great season. So I think, what was it? I finished 7th or 6th. So
Seventh.
Yeah, 7th. So it's nice to see him get a chance. But honestly, I've played with Lewis Dunk. I know how good a player he is. I knew he'd get to the top. Fact. But the fact that he hasn't been given an opportunity yet is disappointing me, to be honest.
Yeah.
Yes. But I'm hoping after the World Cup he will get an opportunity.
Yeah. I think if he carries on,
I think it's only a matter of time. He has to get. If he plays the way he is, he has to get called up.
Like you said, even though looking, or even a couple of games in France.
Yeah, just look at him. I'm not saying he should have been in the World Cup squad.
Yeah.
But I feel like Gareth Southgate should have looked at him before in a couple of games that he had the chance to look at him.
Definitely.
And then he could have made his voice and opinion on him then.
Yeah.
So it is what it is. But I think he will 100% get a chance next season if he carries on the way he is.
Definitely. And final one, do you think England can do it? Do you reckon?
I mean, I don't know. It's difficult. You look at the teams in the World Cup. You've got massive teams: Brazil, Spain, France have got a ridiculous squad. Germany's, I just want them to go out and play free. No pressure. There's always seems to be pressure on England to produce, and that's down to the media. It's ridiculous.
Definitely.
They're always bigging them up, saying they should do this, should do that, and they're surprised when they get knocked out.
They underperform,
Yeah, exactly. Just go out there and enjoy yourself. There's no pressure. There's a lot of young players in the team, which is nice to see. So honestly, I just want them to play freely, and then you see what happens.
Fair play. All right, and last question before I get out of your house. Looking forward, then, you said you just want to get back to playing.
Yep.
Once what's your long-term aim? Is it? I know you mentioned the Premier League. Is that the? Do you think once you hit that, or do you want to go beyond? Do you want to play internationally? What's the final?
I think as far as I can. Lewis Dunk's someone to look up to. For me, I've played with him, and that's what I aspire to do. He's in the Premier League now, and he's performing week in, week out. That's why I want to get to the Premier League.
Yeah.
And then see where I'm at. So international, obviously, I'd love to play. For my country, every kid's dream. I say, and for Harry Kane to captain England at the World Cup,
crazy,
him and his family must be just filled with pride. Sorry. Yeah. So that is the aim. To play in the Prem, and obviously international level. That's to be spoken about at a different time. We'll see.
We'll see, mate. Well, fingers crossed, mate. I'm sure with the mentality you got, mate. I think you can do it. I've got full faith in you. I've got full faith. No. Absolute pleasure, mate. Thanks for letting us in, mate. Of course, I beat you.
Letting you in. You ain't left yet. Since I moved in, you haven't left this house.